Hi everyone, so welcome to another video. Quitting academia can be a big topic no matter where you are in your academic career journey. So if you regularly watch this channel, you'll probably know that I'm a university lecturer, and no, I am not intending to quit my job at the present time. However, when I was a PhD student, I knew that I wasn't going to stay in a university setting when I finished my PhD. I knew that after the PhD I needed to leave. And I had some fairly strong reasons why I didn't want to stay in academia. And I think for balance, it's good to consider all sides of the story. And although this channel, I mainly chat about how to join a university, careers, pathways, progression, I think it's also important to kind of consider some of the reasons why you may not want to be an academic. So this video basically is going to be why, or the top reasons why I quit is a strong word, why I left academia after my PhD. And then maybe in the future I'll do another video about why I decided to rejoin academia and why I am now a lecturer. But anyway, here are my top reasons why academia wasn't something on my career pathway after my PhD. Working in university, the hours can be quite long. Now, I had an awesome supervisor. He was brilliant. He really encouraged us as students to have a work-life balance. He led by example. He had hobbies and interests outside of the workplace. His research group, students in his group, we all did stuff outside. I was a keen rower. I rode horses. We were, I guess, a very kind of outward-facing research group. He definitely didn't want us working all weekends and in the evenings in the labs. He was a really good setter of a work-life balance. However, when you're doing your PhD, well, at least in my case, I still felt a certain pressure to get that PhD completed within my funding period. And I was funded for 3 years. And so although I had a work-life balance and I was trying to make sure I had some downtime as well as work time, at the end of the day, I still wanted to complete my PhD in 3 years. And so, yes, I did still work some weekends. I went on experiment over weekends. I worked some evenings. I worked quite long hours in the laboratory. I remember going in to set equipment up in the middle of the night because it was the only time I could access that equipment. So although I didn't have any departmental or supervisor pressure on me to work long hours, I almost put it on myself because I wanted to get my PhD completed successfully. And I guess after 3 years of doing that in a university, I was ready for a change. The appeal of a regular hours contract job, 9 to 5:30, do my job, enjoy what I'm doing, but then not think about it in the evening or the weekends, that was quite a strong appeal. Money. Let's have a bit of an honest chat about finances. As a physics PhD student, I was very, very fortunate to have a funded PhD. So I got what we call in the UK a student stipend. So somebody was paying me effectively, it's almost like a small salary. So I could afford to live in a shared house. I could run a fairly old Fiesta car. I could afford my hobbies. It was enough money to live on. But it was never going to be enough money to save or to really start to put away in order to get a mortgage for a house or to do anything kind of big kind of future plan stuff. And I guess the appeal of going into a job was I thought that I might be able to climb the financial ladder that little bit quicker. Postdocs, when I was looking at doing them, they were reasonably well paid. I think postdocs these days in the science sector are much better paid. But when I started looking for jobs after my PhD, it was attractive. There were graduate schemes, there were salaries, there were perks. People were offering quicker pay rises as I was going through my industry career if I joined their company. And so, money is a factor. And I just kind of, I guess, thought it might be nice to have a steady salary and a salary where I felt I could save a little bit more money for the future. So, it probably wasn't the deciding factor, finance. But money probably was there somewhere in the back of my mind when I was making my decision. going to stay in academia, one of the typical routes is PhD to postdoc. And a postdoc is usually a research position, especially in the science sector, that lasts maybe 2 to 3 years. And typically you change locations between your PhD and your postdoc. And if you're targeting being a lecturer, often you'll need to do maybe 2, possibly a little bit more postdocs. And typically they need to be in different places as well. And it all comes down to you need to move a lot. And I like travel, I like going abroad to conduct experiments, I like going to conferences, but the idea that having just finished my PhD, in 3 years' time after finishing my first postdoc, I'd need to move again, and then in another 3 years after that, I'd need to move again, that feeling of constant movement wasn't something that I wanted. Now, I know other people love that, they love the adventure of being in different locations and setting up home somewhere else. For me, I just wanted to be able to go somewhere and find a really cool job, but also kind of, put down a few roots, make a few new friends, join a few new clubs. And I didn't really want to kind of, after 3 years, have to move all of that and try to find another postdoctoral position. So yeah, I guess after my PhD, I was looking for a few years of being static geographically. And I think the postdoc might have made that a little bit challenging. Academia can be quite a tough place to work. I think as a PhD student, you're sheltered from it a little bit. So I definitely thought my supervisor, had my back. He would look out for me and make sure that at conferences, I got a fair run and that people were behaving appropriately. I have seen some PhD students not have a supervisor who is so supportive. So again, I was so lucky to have a good supervisor who showed me, I think, how it should be done in terms of supervision. In the main, my academic experience was fabulous. However, I think, I did want to experience what it was like to work as an industry-based scientist. I was curious about how it was going to operate in a company, having this line manager structure, having a technical manager, maybe having a mentor. So yeah, I don't think it drove my decision to leave academia. I think it could definitely drive your decision to leave academia if you've had a bad experience. If things aren't going in a positive or a fair way, that could also be quite a strong driver for you to say, hang on, I've had enough of this, and to leave. Wasn't for me, but I did want to experience what it would be like to be within an industry-based management framework rather than just an academic framework. I guess another reason I left academia was at that point, after finishing my PhD, I wasn't aspiring to be a lecturer. I thought I've done 7 years of study, I now want to go out into the workplace and I want to put into action what I've been studying. And the jump to being a lecturer seemed to me to still be pretty massive. The thought of doing multiple postdocs, travelling around to different locations to do these postdocs and then applying for lectureships, that seemed like quite a lot of work still. And I wasn't sure I wanted to be a lecturer, therefore it didn't seem the right pathway to take at that point in time. Obviously, this video is very much biased towards my personal reasons for leaving academia after my PhD. There is a whole host of positive reasons for remaining within an academic setting after your PhD, be that whether you want to be technical, managerial, research or teaching. So please don't watch this video and think, yep, that's it, after my PhD I am definitely going to leave. If you are aspiring to have an academic career, it may well be the right thing for you to stay working within an academic context or a university setting after your master's or your degree or your PhD. To save these videos from getting too long, I will share or think about those positive reasons to stay on an academic pathway post-PhD in a different video. And obviously, personally, I decided to return back to university. So although the younger me at the end of my PhD was like, yep, that's it, I'm leaving academia, I'm off to do something new. Fast forward a few years, the slightly older version of me was like, actually, I'm going to come back now, the time is right, and I'm going to become a lecturer. And at some point I'll do a video about what pulled me back into academia, why I became a lecturer, and actually why I absolutely love my job that I currently have. So yeah, as always with these YouTube videos, you know, they're only short, so please don't view them as the whole story. They are just part of a narrative. And I said, it's a good thing, isn't it? Watch a few. If you watch a few, you'll get the whole story, which probably means that it would be a good idea to join our academic community. Please feel free to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, leave me a comment, and that way you won't miss part of the narrative and you'll see the full 360 about what it's like to be an academic at different career points within a UK university. I will see you next Monday with another academic video where hopefully I will still be a lecturer working at a university and I won't have quit academia. I'll see you soon. Bye.